it's Jay the Nerd here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below to get all the nerdy content you'll ever need every Wednesday and Saturday. And today we're going to be doing my monthly nerdy favorites video for April. This is my favorite video to film every single month because I just get to talk about all of the fun stuff I watched and played this month. So first we're going to talk about anime. Now the spring anime season has begun, and honestly I'm not watching much because winter was stacked with a lot of stuff I wanted to watch, and this season not really, except for My Hero Academia season 5. There are a couple of others, but I'm not as invested as I am with My Hero Academia season 5. Woo! I'm so happy that it's back. Season 4 ended like a year ago, so it's been a long year waiting for the next season. I am caught up on the manga. I read the new chapter every single Sunday, so I already know what's going to happen, but that doesn't make it any less enjoyable because I get to see my boys on the screen, and it's really wonderful, and I'm excited to watch more. But the next anime I'm going to be talking about is one that ended in 2016, and that is Assassination Classroom. Now, as of the filming of this video, I have finished season 1, and I've a few episodes into season 2. There's only 2 seasons, ended in 2016, and honestly, it's already becoming one of my favorite animes ever. I put it off for a long time because it just looks silly and ridiculous and not like my kind of thing. And then I was bored the other day, and so Rick and I decided to start it, and I got hooked almost instantly, and I'm pretty much in love with it. It's a fucking good show. And if you don't know what it's about, I will try to explain the concept to you. But basically, this giant octopus monster blows up half the moon and tells the world that in a year he's going to blow up the entire world unless someone finds a way to kill him. And so he becomes a teacher to these kids who are in their final year of middle school, and the students are in this kind of like class for unruly bad students, basically. So they're the misfits of the school, and he basically is teaching the misfits of the school how to assassinate him. And that sounds ridiculous, but honestly it's amazing because he cares about the students so much, and it seems like the students care about him. So it's kind of like, what is his goal really in all of this? Is he really trying to destroy the world? Is he really bad, or is he really just using this as a way to motivate and help these students who were kind of given the short end of the stick in life? So it's really freaking good, and I love it so much. But next I'm gonna be talking about video games. Now, I haven't played a whole lot this month because I spent so much time last month trying to get every single side quest in Persona 5 Strikers that I kind of got exhausted from video games for a little bit. But I'm finally playing some more again after my little break. And a few weeks ago I played It Takes Two with Rick, which is this really fun couch co-op or online co-op game where you play as this married couple on the verge of divorce who gets turned into these little dolls by their daughter as a way to try and bring them together, and you basically maneuver yourself throughout your house as these tiny little dolls, and the household items come to life, and it's very Pixar-esque. And it is a fucking blast. I can't remember the last time I had so much fun with a co-op game. I'm not super into co-op games most of the time. I'm a single player game kind of person, but it looked really, really fun, and it was honestly really fun to play a game with Rick that wasn't just Mario Kart and Mario Party like we usually play together. And usually platformer puzzle games I am god awful at, but because I had Rick to help guide me, I did pretty well, and I never really had any moments of frustration, except sometimes the boss fights were a little frustrating. But overall, the game was a blast. So if you have someone that you can play it with, I highly suggest doing it. It is so much fun. You'll even get emotional at some points. But the next game that I'm going to be talking about is Fire Emblem Three Houses. Now, this is another kind of game that I put off for a very long time. I love JRPGs. Like, all of my favorite games are JRPGs, and I know this is a JRPG, but it is like a tactical strategy game with the combat, and I am kind of put off by those most of the time because it just looks more difficult and more strategic than my skill and attention allows. But after playing 13 Sentinels, which is also a tactical strategy JRPG, I finally decided, after I was done, you know, with the other stuff that I had planned to play this year, to finally play Fire Emblem. Someone in the comments of my top 10 video games video mentioned that they thought I would really like Fire Emblem, and you know what, I was like, fine, I guess finally I will try it. I'll stop putting it off, and honestly, I am really surprised how much I love it. All of the social stuff and everything is really fun. The combat isn't too difficult, and it's actually pretty fun to strategize. I'm having a blast. I think it's one of those things where you just have to jump in and give it a shot. And not let the initial look of everything put you off. I'm trying really hard to do better with that with things, because I often will think that something's not really for me and never give it a chance, and then if I really got into it, I would realize it is for me. And I've been trying to do that a lot more with video games in the last year. And I'm obsessed with Fire Emblem Three Houses, and it's really, really fun. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm glad that I decided to finally give it a chance. And the last thing I'm going to be talking about is manga. Now, this month, the Attack on Titan manga ended, and a part of me was like, okay, final season part 1 of the anime is over. Do I wait to know how it ends over a year from now when final season part 2 comes out? Or do I catch up on the manga and read the final chapter when it comes out? And that's what I decided to do, because I could not wait. And so I marathoned through the chapters, basically up until I basically barely caught up like the night before I think the final chapter was going to come out. And then I woke up 8 o'clock in the morning when it was going to be released, and I read the final chapter. And it's a divisive ending. Some people hated it, some people loved it. I personally thought that it was a really good ending given the circumstances of the world and the story. No, it's not going to be a happy ending, because have you watched the show? It's not a happy show. But I think with what the world gave us and what was going on, it was as good of an ending as you were going to get, and I'm satisfied by it. So yeah, I won't say anything more. And then the next manga is My Androgynous Boyfriend Volume 2. I talked about Volume 1, I think probably like a year ago in a monthly favorites, and finally Volume 2 came out a couple of months ago or more than that, and I finally got my hands on it and I read it, and it is just the cutest little like slice of life manga. I guess you could call it a romance, but the couple is already together and seems like they're pretty committed and gonna stay together, so it's not a whole lot of romance. It's kind of just like slice of life about this girl who is a manga artist, and her boyfriend is like a model and works at a clothing store, and he's just like this beautiful androgynous boy, and it's just really, really cute. I love it because there's this whole dynamic of he's this gorgeous androgynous boy, and his girlfriend constantly feels like she doesn't measure up to him, and he's always just like praising her and talking about how much he loves her, and it's just the cutest thing in the world. And I also love the fact that there's a manga with this kind of gender representation of that, like, it doesn't matter what gender you are, you can express yourself any way you want. And I love this representation of more feminine men or androgynous people, and it's really cute, and I highly suggest you give it a shot. So that is all I have to talk about today, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye!